Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am Mike. Cheers. The Jewish Creed. Deuteronomy 6:4-7. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone, and you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength, and you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Moses begins to review all the laws God has given the Israelites, laws that distinguish the people as unique, marking them as God's chosen people. Only the Israelites observed this collection of laws. After reviewing the Ten Commandments, which are the rock-solid base on which all the other laws are built, Moses launches into a section that has become as important to Jews as the Apostles' Creed is to Christians. Many churches ask their people to recite the Apostles' Creed each Sunday to remind them of their most basic beliefs. I believe in God the Father Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord. That's how the Apostles' Creed begins. Jews don't have any creed that their scholars wrote to condense the Jewish Bible into a paragraph of key beliefs, but Jews don't need one. Moses wrote a creed for them. It's a collection of 3 passages which many Jews recite each morning and evening. And we're going to go through them right now. Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. Deuteronomy 11:13-21. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and be shut up And he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them which thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorpost in of thine house, and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. And the last one is Numbers 15:37 and 41. Numbers 15:37 through 41. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes on the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a riband of blue, that it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. Jews call it the Shema, the Shema. Jews call it the Shema. That's the Hebrew word for hear or listen. It comes from the first word in the passage, Hear, O Israel. Moses tells the Israelites there is only one God, the God they serve, and serving God is their purpose in life. So Moses urges the Israelites to memorize the laws of God, tie them to your hands, and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Moses says, write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates, which was Deuteronomy 6, 8, and 9. And on this side note here, where Deuteronomy gets its name, Deuteronomy comes from a Greek word, Deuteronomion. It means repeated law. Before Moses died, he wanted to make sure this new generation of Israelites understood the laws God gave them, so he carefully reviewed them. Jews call the book by a different name, Words. It's a short version of the fuller name that comes from the book's first phrase, these are the words. And there's one more side note here. Moses with horns. Artists long ago often portrayed Moses with horns. The idea came from an incorrect Bible translation. The first Latin version of the Bible said that after Moses met with God, the head of Moses became horned. It actually became so bright he had to cover it. It wasn't horns. He turned pale white and extremely bright, so he had to cover himself, cover his face when he went around people. It should have said, became radiant. Light rays, not horns, sprang from him. But there's a picture of the artwork that they did of Moses with horns, which was a very bad misreading of that one, misinterpretation of that, because it was rays of light where the other Jewish people could not look onto his face after he saw God's back, because he got so bright he had to cover it, which has been said multiple times in the first few books. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. Much love.